Growing up, we are constantly told to get a stable job so that we can live a happy life, or find our dream career doing what we love. Spending most of the beginning of our life experimenting, trying to figure out what we like, what works for us, what makes us feel whole. Sometimes it's not that dream job, but maybe a hobby, going to the gym every week to feel confident, fishing, or even traveling the world. All of this to feel a sense of purpose, and when people lack a purpose, it generally leads to depression or feeling worthless, lost even. Hiro from Darling in the Franxx is, or was, without a purpose until he met Zero 2. Her presence gave his life meaning, but is this the healthiest thing for him? Should you tie your purpose to someone else? Well, let's look at their character traits and relationships throughout the show. Hiro starts off the show pretty bummed out by recent events. He was raised from birth to be a pilot in the Franxx, but due to unknown circumstances, he has lost his ability to operate one. It even got so bad that he caused his partner to be shipped out and replaced because of his poor results. Naturally, this would lead to just about anyone feeling defeated. Imagine the one thing you were born to do, the one thing that was ingrained in your very being, just suddenly taken away from you. Hiro was done, I get it. He had lost his one and only purpose in life. And that's where Zero 2 comes in. Zero 2 isn't exactly in the same boat. She wants to be with her darling, yes, but in the beginning of the show that's not what is driving her. Mostly because she didn't remember who Hiro was. Zero 2 is strong. Zero 2 can pilot a Franxx. Zero 2 was born to fulfill the role of the klaxasaurs queen. And even though these things meant nothing to her, Zero 2 wanted to become a human. And she thought killing enough klaxasaurs would eventually turn herself into one. Yes, so that she could become a human in the same species as her darling. But what I'm trying to say is, Zero 2 already had a functioning life and a goal she was working towards. That changed, however, when she met Hiro. Before they fell in love, Hiro sees her as the only way to pilot a Franxx. With her, he can finally fulfill his purpose, and even though it might be dangerous, he is willing to die just to be with her. And this is where the toxicity comes in, because this isn't a healthy relationship. While Zero 2 openly accepts him as her new darling, since the previous one just died, it made it easier for Hiro to play his role. But things started to get a bit complicated. Zero 2 started to carelessly endanger him. Any rider who rides with Zero 2 3 times will die, and after Hiro's friends found out, they naturally were against this. Why would you kill yourself just to pilot a Franxx? Why would you stay with a woman who treats not only your squad mates like shit, but also sees you as the means to an end, just another pilot? Zero 2 knew that she was pushing Hiro too far, and anytime it looked like his body couldn't go any further, she would ask him, "Is that it, my darling? Is that all you can do?" And of course Hiro will keep fighting. Hiro does this because he has no self-worth. I'm not sure what it's like in Japan, and my 5-minute Google research yielded no results. God, I have no idea how big any tubers do their research, but at least here in America, doctors and psychologists try to teach people that your purpose has to come from within. Your self-worth has to come from you. And that it's unhealthy to put your reasons for existing on another person. That you should have dreams and aspirations. That you should find your place in life if you want to be healthy. And Hiro doesn't do that. Because he values himself very little, he places his entire worth on Zero 2, who becomes his purpose. But this makes him overly dependent on her. His life is her life, and her happiness is his happiness. This goes beyond just loving someone. Hiro needs her to live. The show's a bit in your face about finding your purpose in life. All the kids were bred to be pilots. Papa and the adults have already given them meaning and dictate exactly what they can and can't do. Over the course of the show, they start to learn to be more independent. They learn that there are more things to life than just being a soldier, and by the end of the anime, most of them find happy lives leading a community and restarting humanity. Some of them even traveling the world to find survivors and other useful resources, except Hiro and Zero 2, who find purpose in each other. Now at this point, they've worked out most of the obvious toxic elements of their relationship, but I don't think it was best to restrict Hiro like this without allowing them to grow, because these relationships are unhealthy. While living for someone else, as far as I know, hasn't exactly been rolled out as a no-no, they generally come from bad places. They come from people who are trying to fill a hole in their life. People who are so down and defeated that they get overly attached and dependent on whoever can make them happy. To the point where it does harm for either both people, because one person has tied their entire worth onto you. Because they lack the self-worth themselves, because they can't find happiness within themselves. That's what I don't like about this. I don't want this show to possibly promote or make such unhealthy things seem fine. In fact, I've never really heard of or seen a relationship like this, where they work out all of the harmful elements and be perfect perfectly happy, like Zero2 and Hiro at the end. Maybe there are people out there who have done this, but generally from personal experiences and secondhand accounts. Unless a person is able to realize that they're being overly dependent and work towards self-improvement, the relationship will implode on itself. What do you guys think? I could be wrong about this, but if you have any thoughts or experience with relationships or people like this, then let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, why not drop a like and subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. And this is where the toxicity, oh god.